Welcome back, Dreadheads, to the Walking Dread podcast. I'm Adrian, and tonight we're diving into a mystery
Mm.
that's both fascinating and terrifying.
Okay.
The Flannan Isles lighthouse disappearances.
Ooh, spooky.
With me tonight is Julia, ready to explore the strange events that unfolded on that isolated island back in 1900.
Always up for a good mystery, especially one as steeped in unsettling details as this one.
Absolutely. We've got historical accounts, logbook entries,
Right.
and even some modern-day investigations,
Yeah.
all pointing to the same chilling event. 3 lighthouse keepers vanished without a trace.
Wow.
You might have heard the official reports. Blame a storm, a rogue wave, maybe even some sort of shared madness.
Right, I've heard those theories. But
Yeah.
the sources you provided hint at something much darker, something that goes beyond a simple explanation.
Exactly. That's what makes this case so captivating. Let's start with the setting, the Flannan Isles. Desolate rocks jutting out of the North Atlantic.
Okay.
It's December 1900. A ship passing the islands noticed the lighthouse light was out. Strange considering these keepers were known for their meticulousness.
Yeah, that is strange.
Days later, a relief vessel finally reached the island.
And that's when the true mystery began. The landing party found the lighthouse completely deserted. No keepers, no signs of struggle, just an eerie silence.
One of your sources, a first-hand account from the relief crew, describes the unsettling scene. The door to the lighthouse was locked. The table was set for a meal that was never eaten, and the clock stopped.
As if frozen in time? That detail always sends shivers down my spine?
Right. And then there's the logbook. The last entry, dated December 15th, describes a fierce storm wind strong enough to shake the very foundations of the lighthouse.
But here's what's strange. Later meteorological reports show no record of a storm that severe in the area on those dates.
So what were the keepers experiencing? What
Yeah.
could have driven them to abandon their posts, leaving behind an unfinished entry in the log?
Right. Something must have really spooked them.
This is where things get really interesting. You've included some modern-day investigations into this case, and they bring a whole new layer of creepiness.
Oh, I love it when it gets creepy. Like Anna's story, she's not a believer in the supernatural, but her experience at the Flannan Isles definitely shook her skepticism.
Right. She describes climbing the same rusted iron rungs the keepers once climbed, feeling the isolation pressing down on her.
I can only imagine.
Inside the lighthouse, she found the same eerie stillness, the same sense of something being deeply wrong.
You know that feeling, like you're not supposed to be somewhere.
Exactly.
She even claims to have felt a sudden drop in temperature. A cold so intense it felt almost malevolent.
And then there's that antique pocket watch. Anna found it on the floor, hands frozen at 1:15 midnight. It's as if time itself had become unmoored on the island.
The watch becomes a recurring motif in her account, a symbol of the disrupted timeline, the unnatural forces at play.
Which brings us to perhaps the most unsettling detail of Anna's investigation.
Lay it on me.
She claims the lighthouse lens suddenly flared to life, blinding her with its intense light. When her vision cleared, the room was transformed, freshly painted, a fire crackling in the hearth, as if the lighthouse was suddenly inhabited.
A perfect example of the uncanny we talked about earlier, the familiar twisted into something unsettling. It makes you question what's real and what's not.
And then she sees her reflection. It's her, but older, weathered as if years had passed in an instant, and on her wrist, ticking away that antique pocket watch.
A terrifying realization dawns on her. She's not just visiting the island, she's become a part of it, caught in the same loop that claimed the keepers, forced to stand watch against whatever lurks in the darkness.
The logbook, now mysteriously updated, reads, "She stays." It waits.
Chilling.
Chilling stuff. It really makes you wonder what's really going on at the Flannan Isles. Was it a freak storm, a supernatural force, something else entirely? We may never know. But the mystery, the unsettling atmosphere that lingers.
Right. It makes you think about the vastness of the ocean, the isolation of those who choose to live on its edge. What secrets does it hold? What forces are at play beyond our understanding?
Exactly. Some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, to keep us looking over our shoulders, wondering what lurks just beyond the reach of the light.
Love it.
Thanks for joining us tonight on the Walking Dread podcast. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to rate, follow, and tell a friend if you dare. Until next time, Dreadheads, sleep tight and keep those lights on.